We're just winterizing everything because right now it's 40 something, 50 something degrees outside, but in 2 days it's going to hit 17 degrees with 30-mile-an-hour winds, and it's going to go from like 60 that day to 17, and it's going to be a 5-degree wind chill pretty much. So we're going to go in here. We winterized these quail, and we winterized the chickens. Pretty much everything except for turning the water off, because I'm going to have to turn the water off out here. And we're going to keep a couple 5-gallon buckets in the house to come out here and refill them. Or we also have extra waterers that we can bring back out too. So I'm going to go in. Hillary can't go in here because it's a Faraday cage, pretty much. So I'm going to go in here and she'll see if she can videotape me through the thing. Can you see through that?
Yep.
All right, little guys, get out of the way. So I ran by the feed store this morning, and I got more hay. And so what we did, so this way, if you can see where I'm pointing, that's north. And the quail like to pile up over here in this corner because there's some 2x12s in there, and it keeps the wind off of them. So I made a little corner here that they can get into. So I stacked hay bales on their sides. There's 2 hay bales here and 2 hay bales there, and they're meeting up into an L like that. And then I just had an old piece of tin I stuck in there, threw some rocks on top of it, and this is where their water is. You can see that. And then they have a heat lamp right here. And that's 250 watts or whatever you want to call it. It's a hot one, but it's not the red. And that'll just hopefully keep that water warm, which would be really nice. But if it doesn't keep it warm enough, we have, like I said, we'll have the other one to bring out. And then I have everything, we moved everything around here just for these little guys. And they seem pretty happy. And honestly, they've made it through before, and we didn't even have any heat lamps. All I had was a little light bulb in here. So these guys are going to do great. These are the old ones. These are our layers. These guys are probably anywhere between 3 months old and 6 months old. These guys over here are just 8 weeks old. They just started laying eggs. We're going to fill up all these feeders soon too. Is that in your way?
No.
Okay. So these guys here, what we did is this is the brooder. This brooder here has a 40 some odd quail in it, and they're 3 weeks old. They just got their feathers. I'm not sticking them out here. I usually drop them on the ground at 3 weeks old, and these guys they graduate to harvest day or into the breeding camp. But these guys are gonna stay over here for now, so it's gonna get so cold. And if you can see here, I don't know if you can see this little tunnel under here, but there's a little hole underneath this brooder, just so that we can get to it. And so these guys are under here. There's probably about 20 quail under there right now. I think there's probably 30 some odd quail in here, 35 quail in here. And so this light here is shining on this rock, and that rock is warm right now. So that light will be shining in this area so they can get in here, stay out of the wind. Like I said, that way is north. We got a good piece of tin here behind me. There's a piece of tin here along this wall that'll keep the wind off of them, and they can go in here and hide. I stuck some hay bales back here to stop a draft from blowing through. There's 2 hay bales just laid on their side right behind here. That'll help give them a little more insulation. And if you see this hole here, if you have any nooks and crannies, a little hole like this, we're going to get, on that day before it comes, we're going to shove hay in here, like a little sheet of hay in there. And that'll help it hold any air from blowing through, no drafts. And also, if you think about it, with this light shining right here, that light's going to be heating this up and helping heat up underneath these quail that are in the brooder. But these guys, they have their lights in here. They have a thermostat up there on those lights, and that thermostat's going to keep it between 80 and 85 degrees. Most likely not after it hits 17. Those lights are just going to stay on. I will come out and see how well they did, but I doubt they're going to keep it there. If you see these little holes here on the side, that's for ventilation. I probably will come out. I don't know if I'll cover the holes up, but this thing is about this full right now, full of deep mulch. So we might throw some more hay up just to the top of those holes so they still have ventilation, but it's just going to be hay on the side about that thick, just give them a little insulation. We're going to put moving blankets on top of here.
Talk about the wood what you did.
And this here is also ventilation right here. And so that's just a little plastic screen we have here. And so we just zip tie that piece of wood on there. Just during the winter, it still allows ventilation to go, but it keeps the wind from blowing through. So that's going to help with that. Like I said, I'm going to put a little sheet of straw through there to keep them warm. I won't put anything near the light because these guys are really good at getting stuff knocked on that light. They burn through they burned through a cord already. I think I might have posted that video. So then, like I said, we're gonna put moving blankets on here. There's also holes up in here. I won't cover these holes. Maybe on this side, it's on the north side, I might cover them, but I want them to have ventilation still. You don't want to, you'll suffocate the poor things. So we're going to put a moving blanket there, moving blanket there. That's just because moving blankets are cheap and they insulate. And that'll help keep them warm. Because 17 degrees, I mean, we're in Texas. These guys aren't used to it. It's freaking the middle of December. December 20th is today. December 23rd, I think, is whenever the storm's going to come in. Or not even a storm, it's just a cold front coming down. And the animals aren't used to it. They've been in this is the coldest it's been. It's like 40 something degrees. So it's not a big, it's a huge shift. So might not be a big deal to people up in like Nebraska or North Dakota, but our animals aren't used to it. I don't think somebody that lives outside all the time in the Amazon wants to come live in Nebraska. And vice versa. All right, so that's how we're doing these guys. So I think they're going to be good to go. And like I said, we're going to have plenty of extra water in the house so that it stays warm. And it's only going to be a few days. I think it's a 3-day cold stint, but it won't stay freezing during every day. It'll get just above freezing that first night or that first day. It'll be about, like I said, it'll get to 36 degrees. And this is what we did with the chickens over here.
Oh.
So for the chicken coop, it's an old cistern we had, and we cut it's laid on its side. We cut it open, and we opened it up, and we stuck it on top of an old. It was actually a turkey trap from back in the day. Can you get a video of that? Can you see it?
Yeah, I can.
I'll tell you the light on it.
There you go.
So this here, what we did, we put this tarp up on top of here. We'll put that on the ground because that's, once again, where coming into my face would be the north. So we want to stop that northern wind from hitting these guys. And that's going to be that easy. We got this already zip tied in. It's just the tarp zip tied on. And then we're going to throw rocks along the bottom. Nice and easy. And these chickens, they'd probably be fine without it. But I just want to be nice, have them comfortable. Because honestly, if your chickens are comfortable and they're not that stressed out, they will live, or they'll lay more eggs. So they'll have plenty of eggs. And we even did this right up here. I don't know, can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
So that right up there is a moving blanket. And we put that up above their head because it gets cold. Our rooster, last time this happened, our rooster had a black comb. So his head was touching that. And it went in the negative during that period. That's whenever during the winter, the ice, whatever. It wasn't really ice, it was just wintry.
The winter storm.
And so that rooster's, like I said, his comb was black. So hopefully that'll keep that cold off their head. And they can roost everywhere in here and stay nice and happy. And I left this side open, as you can see, because that is the south side. I don't think it's going to bother them too much. And that's it. We got everything ready.
And look at the tunnel. Tell us about the tunnel.
What's that? What's that?
The tunnel.
And so this is a chicken tunnel. All it is 4x4 mesh here.
Put the light in there.
Yeah, 4x4 mesh wire.
There you go.
And that's their automatic door. And so we'll put rocks around this so it doesn't blow away. 30 miles an hour it ain't that bad, but we'll put some stuff on top of it so it doesn't blow around too much. And that way that they can get in and out if they want to. And so that tunnel will be opened up for them at that time. And we can still get in and out of our gate. That's it. Everything's blocked. You block that northern wind from coming in. You put plenty of insulation in, make sure they have water and extra food. Your animals, that whole time, they're going to be, cold. They're going to be needing a lot of energy to create heat. So give them extra food. You can hurt nothing. If they don't eat it all, they'll eat it later. You know how chickens are. They'll eat everything. So give them a little extra food. Make sure they have plenty of water even when it's cold.
Marbles.
And, what's that?
So we're going to put like marbles or a floating.
Yep, that's right. If you put something that floats in the water, like a ping pong ball that won't blow off, or somebody says marble, stuff that'll roll around, it'll cause that ice, if it doesn't get too thick, to break. And so that ice will break and the chickens will be able to have water. And also, like with that quail, that light's shining right next to it, so hopefully that'll keep it warm. Maybe not, but hopefully it'll keep it warm enough to where it won't freeze. And like I said, that's at night, and we'll be back out in the day to give them fresh water. And it shouldn't be freezing during the day, so they'll have plenty of water with that. All right, guys. So take care of your animals, and look after your neighbor. Make sure you help the little old lady or people that are kind of idiots. Help them. Well, there's plenty of those out there. Help those people that don't know what to do. Teach them. Become a good family. Become a good neighborhood friend, and help them out. All right.